Hello, and welcome to the Black Rock and Mohawk Railroad. My name is Brent, and you're probably watching this because you're either beginning in the hobby for the first time or, like me, you're returning to the hobby. Um, I came back, I retired about a year and a half ago, and started digging in to the 21st century hobby. Um, I had a Lionel train set when I was a kid. Back in the 80s, I tried to do a HO layout and tugged that around for a while. Never really got too far with it, but I kept all my locos and cars and some of the track. And now that I have some time on my hands, I'm getting back into the hobby. And it was real hard to figure out what was good and what was bad. Especially watching YouTube, you've got to be a little careful. You know, not everything that is said on video is true necessarily. So I decided that I would start a channel to help others who are coming back into the hobby or starting with the hobby. And let's face it is really difficult when you're starting new or coming back into it. I mean, there's a ton of decisions, and you need to have some information that'll help you make good decisions. So, I mean, you have to figure out, what scale you want to go. What did you want to do with this layout? Do you want to actually work it or just watch the trains go around? What's the track plan? That's the big one, right? And DC or DCC, that wasn't around 30 years ago. So your head is spinning, and I get it. I totally get it. So I'm not going to tell you what to do, but you do need to make a lot of decisions, and you need good information that is not biased, that is there for your taking. So what we're going to do in this video is I'm going to share with you some good, solid information, where to find it, so that you can make good decisions as you go along. So the first one, let me make a click here. There we go. Is trains.com. Trains.com, if you like me, older, and Kalmbach used to print it. Now there's a new company that owns it, and they're going through trains.com. So if you go to trains.com, you will see a video that of me on the website going through and clicking on the Model Railroader tab. Okay, then you go to the Model Railroader page. You go to the how-to, go down to track plan database. This is free for everybody. You don't have to sign up for anything. And they have, like, I think 600 different track plans. And you can put in there like what scale you're going to do. And just remember this, though, just because let's say you're doing an N scale layout and there's an HO scale that you really like, you can scale that better. Most people get in the N scale because they want to build a huge layout. For me, I'm an HO guy because I just can't deal with stuff that small. But if you go to that and you scroll down to where it says beginners, it's got so much information for you. You just scroll around, there's a ton of articles on there. There's books you can download, all the articles that you can download for beginners. They're all free. And I strongly suggest that you go there. Now, and that's all just, you don't have to sign in for anything. All right. Just go in there. You can click on this book called Getting Started in Model Railroading, the Beginner's Guide. And it's got a lot of good information. If you've not been in the hobby before, this is where you need to start. Okay. So that's one guide. Now, I will tell you, and you saw on the first page of this that it says something about, you get 30-day trial of a membership. Okay. And if you can trust yourself to only do the 30 days, okay, it's free. And what that opens up to you is every model railroader magazine ever made. Seriously, all of them. You can download them to your computer. I'm going to show you that here in just a second. Once you get to this page where it says 30-day free trial and it says the unlimited version, okay? It says join now. Now, please read that part at the bottom. After 30 days, it's $6.99 a month, but they charge you $83.88 for one full year. Okay, so you can sign up, take 30 days, download all the stuff you want, and cancel your subscription. But you got to cancel it. I actually thought that's what I was going to do, but this has so much information because you have everything that they have. All the magazines, there's more free books, there's pictures and videos all over the place. Trains.com, if you're interested in model railroad, you're obviously interested in trains. So you can go in there, get pictures, get all kinds of stuff. I mean, and this is going to show you right here. This is Model Railroader. You can take any one of these. I'll click on this one right here. No, the next page. and you can download it. And it goes all the way back to 1930 something. It's amazing. So you can do that, get any article you want, go through it. You got to have time in the next 30 days to really utilize this. But you can read the magazine online or download it and read it later. It's really a great resource. You have pretty much, like right there, the first issue was in April of 1934. And they have every single one of them since then. That was the company that bought trains.com or started trains.com actually, and bought Model Railroader. They are a transportation company to some degree. They do a thing called FreightWaves for trucking industry. They do these train magazines about the train industry. So, they know a lot of things. I don't know if you've ever heard of the place in Cincinnati. It was called Entertainment something. I forgot the last name. But the guy who owns that and built it and all that, he's retiring. They bought it and are going to take that whole set down, and it is huge. There's some videos, again, on this particular place because everybody was saying, oh, it's going to close at the end of the year. And that's true. But what they're going to do is they're going to move it down to Chattanooga or somewhere close because that's where they're based. And they're going to put it all back together again. So, I mean, it's an amazing company. So, and they really doubled down on the videos, creating a library. That this library vault isn't really big right now, but they are working on it and making it better. There'll be more and more videos that come along. You go to the trains video, you can get stuff about real trains. You can get stuff about modeling. Great place for pictures of trains, box cars, things that you can use to model in your own railroad. So it is a great source. So that's my number one go-to because it just basically has everything. So the next one is Model Railroader Hobbyist, and they are amazing. They do, you can have their magazine for free. They have everything going on here. You can get the newest copy, downloaded for free. Every copy they've ever made, downloaded for free. The only thing is they don't really have a beginner's area, as much as Model Railroader does. But you can have back issues. You can view them online, or you can download them to your computer, and it's a great resource. The one thing I use the most on this is their forums, and Model Railroader has forums also, which are fantastic. But these are fantastic too. The forums where you can go in, read what other people have asked questions about and how they were answered, and ask your own questions. You just sign up for it. Within a day, you'll be approved, and it really is another great resource for you to tap into that's completely free. There is nothing 30-day about it, okay? So it's something else that you can use that will help you get good information. Now, trick number 3, I guess, really is YouTube, okay? YouTube is full of model railroading, but what I've learned in over a year of watching videos, the algorithm that works the feed to you is very limiting. And by joining, subscribing to some of these, and then going in and see who else is watching, you can find a bunch of more videos that your feed doesn't ever get to. My favorite, I'm going to give you some favorites of mine. My number 1 favorite is Scott Rails. He's from Scotland. He lives in Canada, and he got interested in trains and wanted to do this. And number 1, he's fun. And if you're in a hobby, it needs to be fun. If you're building your first layout, your head is spinning around just trying to figure out what you need and what you can do. But his is really a good channel. On Friday nights, he has a live thing that goes on, and it's if you're a member, you get into the chat room, and that's where I picked up a bunch of different videos, different channels on YouTube that I never knew about, because it's a community, and so I watch what other people do, and they watch what I do sometimes, and it's really a good channel, really good channel. My number 2 is DJ's Trains. This guy's the real deal. He is an engineer on CSX, and he lives somewhere around Pittsburgh. What I love about him is you get to see the reality of trains, but also he loves to model things that he sees. And he's got a drone, and he'll fly over things, and you'll see things that are amazing. There's one in particular that I'll mention where this train has to go through a few buildings to get to the building where the product is on the cars goes to. It's just crazy. And he, again, it's fun. You learn a lot from him about real railroads, and then you can see places that you can model. I do that with Google Earth. I found places I live in Knoxville, and I found places in Knoxville that you can't really see from a road, but that are amazing. One of them is a facility that it doesn't make asphalt, but it makes the chemicals that are in the asphalt. And it's a really small place, but it's got just a bunch of big tall tanks, and there's I think they have 2 rails, and they pump it into tank cars and send it all over the place. I would have never found it. So wherever you live, if you're going to model like where you around you, look at Google Earth and just follow tracks and see where they go, and you'll be amazed. That's another great resource right at your fingers. Again, everything's free. A couple more that I like. MF Railroad, guy's great. He's fun. He's building a great railroad, and he's actually starting a small, like, I don't want to say diorama, but kind of is, from New York City back in time, a ways. I forgot what decade he's modeling, but it's amazing. He's doing a great job with it. So that's a good channel. He's fun, and he's really good at what he does. So that's one. And Chicago Crossing Model Railroad is another one. Chicago Crossing, the guy who runs this is very laid back, and he's got an artistic mind, but it's a pleasant visit when you go there. You know what I mean? You just feel at home. And he has done a tremendous job with N-scale in a small space. Tremendous. Right now, he's actually tearing some of it apart and redoing some wiring and things like that. But if you're looking for stuff like buildings, and putting lighting in buildings, that's a channel you should watch. So, you have that for them. Some other things that are free is the National Model Railroad Association, nmra.org, and there's a beginner's guide there that you can look through. Some ones you may not think would be good. One is Pinterest, of all things. You can find track plans there, a bunch. And in there are some track plans on Model Railroad Hobbyist, but they're not as connected together and presented to you in 69 pages of different, layouts. Facebook is also one. There's a bunch of Model Railroad pages on there that you can look at. I'm a big fan of the Detroit, Toledo, and Ironton, the orange locomotives. There's a guy who's on Facebook and on YouTube who's doing what he's calling the modern DT&I, and great. I mean, and his Facebook pictures are awesome. Another thing too is if you can find a club next to you, near you, I would strongly suggest there is one around here, but it's not very close. And for me, it would be a kind of a struggle to do that. So, but get involved with some other people. Get involved with, if you have good hobby stores near you that do trains. I'm going to do a video about how to spend money wisely in this hobby, because it is expensive, and I know that inflation over time has caused these prices to not be. But the most expensive train I ever bought back over 30 years ago was $59.95. I thought that was outrageous, but I bought it. I still have it too. And I'm going to do a whole series about just starting out, keeping it simple. You don't need everything at once. You can always change your layout. You can add things to it. If you have DC engines and you're thinking about DCC, you don't have to rewire it or anything. You're just going to change, what happens. And it's easy to get hooked on technology. The worst thing I think I did was I got some trains that had sound, with DCC, and amazing. But they make some that are DC and DCC, and you can run them either way, and they have sound. And the sound thing is just, for me, I just think that's the coolest thing that's ever happened, with model railroading. That was just amazing. So anyway, and from people who are coming back into the hobby like me, especially people who are retired now, you don't have the dexterity that you used to have when you were younger. I'm going to address that, I think, in the next video, actually, because I made mine simple and easy to work on, because I don't like crawling around on the floor. It's just too hard. So thank you for watching, and hope this helped, and we'll see you the next time. Bye.